What's up, big guy?
Hey guys.
How's it going, you guys?
I'm just gonna plug my headset in one sec.
What's going on, guys?
Sounds good. Hey, Ish. Welcome, man.
Awesome. Good to go. So, I mean, we're on the hour, so I guess we'll just kick things off and people can join at their leisure. Yeah, look, welcome to the first solely Fireside. Thank you to everyone for joining. I can see there's some questions in the dedicated chat area here. We can cover those shortly. First off, I guess I just wanted to give everyone a little bit of a rundown of the events that unfolded during the DNS attack that we received, unfortunately, over the weekend. So, essentially, as you all know, at this stage in our preliminary investigation, it's to our understanding that the hacker was able to essentially socially engineer one of the GoDaddy staff members into gaining access over our DNS, our domain. As such, they subsequently spun up a phishing website, which they then changed the Web3 calls from that phishing website to execute a send-to function that's in the router contract. This is in every standard UniV2 router contract that essentially allows a token to be swapped but also sent to another wallet at the same time. We feel our response to this was pretty calm, collected, and quick. We did everything we could at the time to throw hurdles into the way of the attacker. However, unfortunately, you know, that resulted in around about $72,000 worth of losses, which we have agreed to compensate. At this stage, the compensation process is underway. The only hold up in the process right now is we're actually waiting to hear back from our legal team for sign off on how we actually plan to go about the compensation. We're following instructions closely from our legal team, purely due to the nature of our business, or I shouldn't say our business, our project, and the nature of the situation as well, given that there could potentially be legal recourse further down the track in terms of us and the domain provider. We're basically just heeding counsel from our legal team at this stage. How we're going to go about the compensation, rather than an airdrop, just to sort of make things more seamless and transparent on chain, we're actually going to be doing a claim function whereby we've already run a script against all of the wallets that were affected who were swapping during the attack. As a result, we've assigned a figure against these wallets of the exact loss of funds at the time that the attack was carried out. Essentially, people will be able to log into a UI with their wallet, select a claim function, and essentially claim and sign off on that transaction. At this stage, again, we're just waiting for the go-ahead from our legal team, and we hope to have an update for this next week. We should be able to get this all wrapped up by next week at some point, providing that there's no hold-up from the legal team. So essentially, that's where things are at the moment. We can understand that people are, anxious and eager to get their refunds. We're eager to get them out as well, because this is one less job for us, one less monkey on our back to worry about, and then we can sort of, turn our heads towards something more positive and finishing up V2 and rolling that out. So yeah, please just remain patient. We've got everything set up from our end, and yeah, we're just waiting on third-party advice in relation to that. In terms of V2 updates, I've been seeing some questions in here, and in terms of the relation of, where V2 is at its current point. So we've actually seen some really strong progress this week. Me personally, it would probably ironically be one of our biggest weeks of progression so far. Sorry that I didn't give you guys an update about V2 during the Degens Digest like I usually do each week. However, I guess at that point, my primary concern was just sort of reassuring the community that we were focusing on resolving any issues that arose as a result of the attack. This week, we had some monumental achievements in terms of actually pushing a whole bunch of PRs and merging updates that the developer team had been working on over the previous sprint to the staging server. This has meant that I've been able to test this out in its entirety and seeing some really strong functionality there, a lot of bug fixes surrounding a lot of bugs that were present in the previous sprint. Main progression would be with the farms, new farm types that we're setting up, which I won't go into detail now, and the bridge. We've made some huge upgrades to the bridge. I've been doing a lot of bridge testing this week, and it works amazing. There's the current issue whereby if liquidity is low on multi-chain, which we're currently hooked into, people receiving these any tokens, and then obviously, having to go through the laborious task of swapping those out and redeeming the underlying assets that they originally intended to bridge over. So the new bridge will essentially see that as a issue of the past. I'm just really, really happy with the amount of progress that has happened in terms of V2 development over this previous sprint round. You can ask any of the team members here. I'm literally the most critical of us. I'm always the one who will be the pessimist and sort of saying we can do better. But this week I've been really, really pleased to see the progress from the dev team, with Rob obviously heading that. So round of applause for them. I guess, look, at this point, we just kind of want to keep this, this process for Fireside with Soli, fairly sort of laid back and casual. So at this point, I guess I'd like to have Airgate invite people up to the stage if they want to ask us questions or quiz us on anything. We're happy to chat with you guys. We just want to sort of keep this an informal and casual chat. So Airgate, over to you. If there's any community members out there who want to jump up on stage and chat with us about certain subject matter or ask us any questions, now's your opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. First of all, we got a couple questions from the community. I can take you there if you like. Then, guys, if you wanna just talk, raise your hand, and I can invite you to the stage.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to actually, engage with people. So people who are asking those questions, raise your hand and jump up here. Let's have a chat.
All right, let's see.
Nobody wanting to raise their hands. Come on, guys. Come and chat with us. We want to connect with you.
First guy to raise their hand gets 10 spirit tokens.
No one wants to jump up. Come on, guys. Face the music.
On the meantime, you can check the questions if you like.
Yeah, I see them in there. I kind of want to chat with people directly. Come on, guys, don't be shy. We're not going to bite. Hard. We are shy.
I'll just go into general chat. Just hang out in general chat.
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe we can answer those couple of questions and then...
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So let's scroll through the Airgate. Do you want to fire some questions up, man? MC this?
Yep, sure. First question is coming. Do we have a rough idea when...
Grop has his hand up. Let's invite him to the stage.
Awesome, Grop, my man.
Yep.
Let's go, Grop. Hey, mate.
Hey, Grop. Feel me good?
Welcome, man.
Awesome. Thanks for having the stones to come up here. We appreciate it.
Sure. I repeat just a question I already wrote in the Fireside chat.
Perfect.
My question is, would Spirit be able to survive a 12 to 24 month bear market and would be able to pay its employees and just survive such a long time? If I just see the risk that we going to face something like that, even I'm not predicting that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So look, we're constantly readjusting our budgets to coincide with market conditions. At this stage, V2 development has seen a heavy cost on developer resources. Look, all it means is we have to be in a position where we're able to pivot, and I think we are in a good position that way. We'll never make any promises because, I mean, there's always curveballs thrown. You know, there's always variables in the mix that may change conditions. But at this stage, yes, I would feel confident that we were able to survive that period of time. Again, it's just a case of reassessing budgets as the conditions require one or a team or a treasury manager to do so. So we recently revised budgets, I think it was around about 2 weeks ago, in light of the fact that the foundation clearly weren't going to budge on their current approach to grants. So we have done so. I mean, you know, this definitely was a little bit of a hit to our runway. Basically scaling back resources increases runway in terms of delivery times. But, you know, that's just case in point with the current market situations. You know, we need to be able to be agile. We need to be able to adjust our developer costs and our expenses and outlays in order to ensure that we're adding runway, you know, to the longevity of the project. So to answer your question in short, yes, but I can never make any promises because there's always variables that we can't account for. You know, example of that variable is obviously, you know, we're having to look at compensate around about $72,000 at the moment as a result of this exploit that, well, it's kind of unfair because it wasn't. Well, I'd love for us to be able to take total blame for that situation, but like I said, our analysis has kind of led us to the conclusion that there's nothing we did wrong here. But, you know, hey, case in point, we're now 72K in the hole that could have been put towards developer resources, you know, speeding up deadline and turnaround times of V2 delivery. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Grop. Is there anything else?
Ultimately, yes, we can, because we just planned for this. So the plain answer is yeah, we can. CFO is not on the call right now, but he would tell you yes. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you for asking. Good to hear.
Yeah, thanks for asking, man.
Thanks, Grop. We appreciate you, man. See you very active in the community, so your presence is much appreciated. Thank you.
So,
okay, well, if anyone else wants to raise their hand, otherwise, Ege, you can move on with the next question.
Okay. Yeah, first of all, we got do we have a rough idea of when version 2 will be released? Basically, when? Question.
When, man?
One moon.
When,
When?
Oh, Austin's here.
Austin, what's up, man? Ege, can we just bring Austin up on stage, please?
Of course. Just
he needs to be up here, man. He needs to be up here.
Do we want to answer that, guys, or should we just leave it?
We can. Just like, I guess, I don't want to like give out too many details or like the timeline so that you guys like will come behind us with like spears. I would say like the development is going pretty steady and like strong. We are waiting on our audit to finally finish. Like we've received the first two reports and they're all clean, they're all good. So the first audit is getting close to completion. We're trying to get another audit as well, just to be on the safer side. Along with two audits, we are also doing like peer reviews from trusted community members of Phantom. We are sharing like a code base with them. We kind of like shared our code base with Foundation as well. So like they have a couple of people, they're looking over the contracts as well. Like they're just like doing peer reviews. So yeah, those things will take some time for it to finish, and at the same time we're finishing up like the UI and things.
Yeah, but we're just in polish phase for the UI stuff. So it's like it's mainly that audit stuff.
Yeah, mainly on the smart contract side and the security side of things. Correct. Yep.
Anyway, we have Austin up here. Austin, nice Unchained. I'm in the middle of watching Unchained right now.
Hey guys.
What's going on, Austin? we have a special cameo guest.
It was a tough one, man.
Yeah.
I apologize to everyone at the end of it because it was just I really wanted to get up there and just smile, and I was having trouble with it today.
Yeah, dude, it's hard, man.
You started off the beginning and we didn't talk about any of the drama, and I was surprised. I was like, how did he avoid all of that stuff? I haven't gotten to the drama pieces yet. If you guys
get there.
talk about it, okay. We'll see. We'll see.
I'm still halfway through it, but dude, yeah, I think like huge admiration for you that you're still able to do what you do, man. Yeah, just keep it up. But I think it's good that you're addressing some of the issues and some of the laundry sort of being aired out at this point in time, because hey, man, if these things don't get addressed, nothing changes, right?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. I actually, my kids have an event at their school, so I got to jet out of here in like 5 minutes.
No, that's
I'm going to listen in, and then I'm going to exit quietly without bothering anyone.
That's okay, man. Hey, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's you're always welcome here, Austin. Much
Thanks,
love.
Chance.
Kick him out of here, man.
So for people who don't realize, Austin's actually going to be presenting at Consensus. So if anyone plans to go, make sure you catch that. Austin's a fantastic presenter, an amazing speaker. He's always got a huge amount of value to add to subject matter. So make sure to go and support him if you're going to be around there. So reverting back to the previous question, as we've always said, we really don't want to give hard deadlines on V2 because, look, this, especially in current market conditions, there's so many variables that can sort of change things. But, if timelines are anything to go by, and the team have sort of, made it apparent that we're around about 90% there at the moment. So take that as you will. Yeah. Main reason we don't want to give hard deadlines is purely because as soon as we set a date, people have that hard coded in their brains, and if anything changes or we don't meet that date, then as Sid said, you come after us with spares. Next question.
Alrighty. Next question coming from Bag of Milk. First question is ambitions to deploy Spirit onto other L1s.
Crickets. Hello?
I can start over there. So, we all know, multi-chain is the future. Of course, getting roots in one chain is super important to create the depth of liquidity. Eventually, we always have plans to look at multi-chain. The issue with DEX and the tokenomic models around it is it's really difficult to incentivize on any other chain where your initial token is not there. So let's say we are on Phantom, but for example, you want to launch on Ethereum. Now we don't have Spirit tokens on Ethereum to incentivize our farms. Somebody could just deploy a new DEX and incentivize a shit ton of farms with a higher APR, and they will blow us out of the water. So it's very difficult as a DEX to go cross-chain and incentivize liquidity. We are coming up with some strategies or just thinking about ideas, but nothing in the near future. Right now we're just all focused on V2 stuff. But yeah, cross-chain was always something that we had in mind for future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess just further to extrapolate on that, there are some metrics built into V2 that may make it possible for us to incentivize liquidity on other, well, not us, liquidity to be incentivized on other chains. But again, as Sid has alluded to, we kind of just really want to set a really strong foundation in Phantom first, no pun intended. Really nail V2, iron out any of the kinks there, and then we can start to, assess other options. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, you guys. Second question is similar to first one. Bag of Mix says, imagine ETH merge is a massive success. Volume leaves other L1s. How will SpiritSwap react in this scenario? In addition, what is SpiritSwap view on L2 or roll-up chains for deployment? For example, Arbitrum is still lacking a premier DEX and one-stop DeFi hub. Spirit would make a great addition, he says.
No, awesome question. I guess like the same thing kind of like applies over there. Like it's not a problem to like deploy. Like we will always get beat by somebody else deploying with a new token or like a new tokenomics model and like insanely high APRs. So yeah, I kind of like stick with my first answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Third and his last question is, what will SpiritSwap consider the main drivers of volume on the exchange? How does SpiritSwap see themselves against SpookySwap?
Yeah, I mean, main drivers of volume. A main driver of volume is obviously part and parcel of that is the use of aggregators. I mean, more and more, we are seeing that more and more people are, running through aggregators now, and in order to compete with that, price output, price delivery on swaps and fees is obviously a main factor there, point of contention. We are addressing that in V2. That's all I'll say for now. Another driving factor is obviously having deep liquidity. Deeper liquidity means that you're able to offer more optimum pricing on swaps. So I think establishing really deep liquidity along with offering competitive outputs in terms of fees is a winning formula in that respect. Again, both of which we'll be addressing in some of the V2 updates.
Yeah, just to build on top of that, definitely agree with having competitive fees. I guess another interesting or important aspect is having tokens that people want to trade on the DEX. And I mean, typically volume kind of dies down when we're in these downturns. But we kind of want to set ourselves up so that we can get important projects on SpiritSwap as their home base for liquidity.
And then from a not back-end technical kind of perspective, good user experience, which we're nailing with V2 UI. So there you go. That's directly correlated.
Definitely agree on that.
Helpful for getting users to use Spirit.
All right. Thank you, guys. GSPG asked, any possible to get our money back after the hack? Yeah, we already covered this in this event, so you can always listen back again when we upload it to YouTube. GSPG. Yep. Anyone to come to the stage, guys? I think, yeah.
Is that all of the questions, Ego?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If anyone else has anything to add, if anyone wants to put a hand up, you don't necessarily have to ask a question. This whole narrative is around creating a dialogue and, having learned discussions about any kind of subject matter relating to crypto or macroeconomics impacting crypto. So, yeah, if anyone wants to jump up, now's your chance. Otherwise, we'll get back to
We're also doing this every week, right? So we can... It's okay to ask questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, absolutely. So we will be doing this weekly now. So, if you guys are a little bit shy at the moment, that's cool. You can build up your confidence and jump up stage next week. But
feedback. We should collect some feedback on how we do this. If people like the way we do it, maybe.
Yep. We can collect some feedbacks. By the way, Crypto Thought said his mic is broke, but he asks, as a noob, what is the best way to support and learn more about Spirit?
Yeah, absolutely. Learn more about Spirit. Check out our YouTube channel. If you go to our resources, you'll be able to find a link to our YouTube channel there. Obviously, reading through the documentation, although documentation is due to have a huge overhaul pretty soon with the release of V2. We'll pretty much see an entire rewrite of our Git book. But that said, all of the existing resources in Gitbook will still be applicable to V2, but I feel like they'll just be beefed up a little bit. So, I mean, I've already written all of those V2 resources and migrated them over to Gitbook with the help of Allspark. Thanks, Allspark, for your help there. But yeah, I would say really, in all honesty, if you're really wanting to get a good handle on what SpiritSwap is and how to really participate in the ecosystem, check out our YouTube channel. Really, really easy and simple explainer videos explaining all of the fundamental metrics there. Read through our documents in Gitbook and obviously catch up with everything that we've written in our Medium. That's pretty much your 3-step crash course to getting involved in SpiritSwap.
Crypto, I can you can check our resources tab, which I will give a link to you. You can always check there for the Medium Gitbook. Anything you like.
Also, mods are a pretty good resource. They have some knowledge if you want to ask them questions in Discord. Or was that already mentioned?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, I think Rob, you're absolutely right. Probably take time to do the research first, just so you're not asking really simple questions that are highlighted in the documentation. And then, if there's anything you're confused about in the documentation or require clarification on, then we've got an outstanding mod team. These guys are just fantastic, super knowledgeable, super helpful, quick turnaround times on questions. So as Rob alluded to, definitely lean on our mods as a resource for learning as well.
Definitely, I agree. One more question we got. Are we going to be able to borrow against InSpirit on version 2?
We don't really want to disclose too much about V2 at this time. That's a question I'm not going to answer, purely because, again, we've been pretty tight-lipped about what V2 actually entails, obviously, to keep a competitive edge. I would love to be able to jump into that question, possibly something that we can discuss post V2 launch, but appreciate the question nonetheless.
Yeah, appreciate it, Roberto. Yep. Any other questions you got, guys? Let us know.
Cool. Yeah, we can try different formats too if people don't like this. I don't know if people like it or not. I guess give Nazaru feedback so he can let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. If there's a different format you guys want us to take with this, let Nazaru know, and Nazaru and I can catch up during our weekly mod meeting and receive that feedback, go through it and look to change things up as required. Oh, we just had Grop pop up again.
Grop is back.
Oh, here we go. He's back. Here he is. My man. Welcome.
Just you talked about V2. So what do we have to expect? Is this something we can see in Q2, or do you think it's not possible? I mean, you will probably have a date in mind, which you don't tell us, but do we have to wait 6 months longer, or where are we right now?
So I definitely do not see you guys waiting 6 months. Like we said already, we're 90% there. Right now it's a polish phase and obviously waiting on audits. We want to have double coverage on audits, but because budgets are tight, we might have to launch the public beta with just one audit. However, this said, the audit firm that we have engaged has been extremely thorough in their test cases. I think we're at the sort of next stage now where they're manually checking contracts. They've gone through the diff checkers already. To answer your question, look, yes, we do have an internal deadline. We have an entire workflow management chart all ironed out. We review this every week. Still not going to give you guys an exact date for what our internal deadline is. But no, you're not going to have to be waiting, 3-6 months, all that kind of stuff. No.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And as for the budget thing, that's budget tight specifically for audit stuff. We had a budget set aside for audits. and that was a security budget, but it also covered anything along the lines of a hack. So some of those funds went towards that. So that's what he meant when he said budgets are tight for security audits, not for the 1 year to 2 year runway you were talking about, Rob.
Yeah, correct.
So, yeah.
Thanks for answering.
Yeah, thanks for asking, man.
Thank you, Grub.
Okay, well, if there's no further questions, we'll all get back to work on pumping V2 out as quick as possible for you guys. But look, yeah, exactly. I just want to say, look, thank you everybody for joining and participating. Especially thank you to those who asked questions, and especially to Grope for, being the first community member to jump up on stage with us, man. Yeah, we'll be doing this each week. We'd appreciate any feedback. If there's an alternative format you guys want this done in, feel free to pass that on to Nazaru, and we can adjust accordingly. But thank you very much everyone for your time.
Yep, guys, please let me know if you got any ideas on the format. We're definitely doing this for casualty, like for casual stuff. Just let us know so we can do it accordingly.
Cool. Great stuff. Good job.
Perfect. Thank you guys. Yeah, I guess so. We'll catch you guys next week. Yeah.
Yep. Cheers, guys.
Later. I will exit quietly. There.
Me too.